Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Mr. Pass here, back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary video, and today we have a kit reveal for you guys. Gift Changers University is proud to present Darth Traya. Yep, we finally get to see Darth Traya's kit. We've got Darth Nihilus, been in the game for a little over a year now. His anniversary was a few weeks ago. We got Darth Scion a few days ago, earlier this week, and now we got Darth Traya. So let's cover her kit real quick here. So, Darth Traya, no surprise, is a Sith. Now, obviously, that makes perfect sense, being as she is part of the Sith Triumvirate. She is a support role, so we weren't really sure whether we were going to see support or healer attached to Darth Traya. Healer would have been interesting, but support obviously makes much more sense. Her design is pretty badass, if I might say so myself. Her ability, basic, is Deceptive Strike, which has no damage attached to the GIF. I'll take it, I guess. Okay. But the text on this attack is, it deals special damage to a target enemy and dazes them for 2 turns. Wicked awesome. There aren't a whole lot of dark side characters that inflict daze. To my knowledge, you've got Maul, Wampa. I think there might be 1 or 2 other characters that inflict daze. But Traya might be one of the only, I'm not saying she's the only, so you can rip me apart in the comments section below, have at it, who inflicts daze on her basic. Now, we all know how valuable daze is, especially in territory battles. But as you have more counterattacking squads in the game, basic daze is going to be far more valuable in more aspects of the game. And then if the new raid, if there's any kind of counterattack mechanics in the raid, and the boss is susceptible to daze, which sometimes they're not, daze could come in handy in the raid. So there may be additional enemies on 1 or more of the bosses where you have to daze them to keep your squad alive longer. I don't know. But either way, daze on her basic, pretty awesome. Then she inflicts all debuffs on allies to the target enemy for 1 turn. If any debuffs were inflicted, reduce the cooldown of Saber Storm, her first special, by 1. Now, it doesn't say that she's dispelling all the debuffs off of her allies and transferring them to the target enemy, but if you have allies who are stunned, dazed, staggered, dots, you name the debuff, and they're just like loaded up on debuffs, you're going to inflict all of those debuffs. It doesn't say just 1 copy either. It says all debuffs. Now, we can't tell from this GIF because she has no allies in the screen, and we don't know for sure, but the way this reads leads me to believe that Darth Traya is going to transfer every single debuff. So in this image right here where you see her against resistance, maybe you've got like 5 or 6 exposes stacked on your team. Traya takes her basic attack and inflicts 5 or 6 exposes on a target enemy. 5 or 6 exposes on any enemy will probably friggin' kill him. So, and if that doesn't kill him, Vader's Saber throw will probably kill him. You know, Culling Blade, that has a tendency to hurt a little. So this is going to be a killer basic. Like, this is definitely on tier with a raid reward character. I'm pretty excited about that basic attack. Now, her first special, Saber Storm, which can have the cooldown reduced by her basic, is Saber Storm. But I'm pretty excited reading this. So, final attacks deal special damage to a target enemy and inflict tenacity down for 2 turns. I love tenacity down. Who doesn't? If Traya has full health, deal damage an additional time. So, attack a second time for full damage and inflict ability block for 2 turns. That's a 2-turn ability block. If the target is buffed, deal damage an additional time. That's 3 attacks now, and inflict healing immunity for 2 turns. This attack can't be evaded, so screw you, JTR. Screw your foresight. I'm just gonna kill you. How about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Okay, so Traya, okay, we don't know how much damage this ability does, but the animation, come on guys, that animation is wicked. This animation is probably one of my favorite animations in the game. Like, I thought Annihilate on Nihilus was badass, but this ability is wicked. I'm really glad that they decided to stick with the 3 floating sabers around Darth Traya. I mean, it doesn't get any more badass than that. So, and then we get to her second special ability, Isolate. It dispels all buffs on the target enemy, increases their cooldowns by 1, and it inflicts Isolation. Isolation is a new buff, we'll get to that in a sec, on the target enemy until another enemy is isolated or Traya is defeated. Okay, this is like Fracture and Force Drain put into one ability. Okay, so reduce target allies' cooldowns by 1, so we're increasing the enemy's cooldowns and reducing a target ally, so we get to choose who gets their cooldowns reduced by 1. Hello, Scion. And grant them protection up 50% until the end of the encounter. Oh my god. Okay, so we're, yeah, obviously synergy with Scion here. Isolation can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted, so basically like Fracture. This attack can't be evaded. Hello, Fracture. So, God, it's good to be a Sith. Okay, Isolation. Can't gain buffs. Caveat here. Can't attack or gain positive effects out of turn. Allies can't attack or gain positive effects during this unit's turn. Used against raid bosses, can't gain buffs. Characters attacking this unit gain crit damage up and health steal up for 1 turn. Okay, that's interesting. I like the way this works. You know, it's basically just like, well, not just like, but very similar to Fracture in that it has character-specific and raid boss-specific mechanics, which is very interesting. I like it. Now, the can't attack or gain positive effects out of turn. Okay, so I'm assuming that this it slows the individual. Okay, no, it doesn't say it freezes their turn meter, so they can't gain buffs. Okay, so it's like a buff immunity. They can't attack or gain positive effects out of turn, which means they can't counterattack. They can't gain any positive effects out of turn, which to me indicates they can't be healed, they can't gain bonus turn meter, and they can't... and they can't... maybe they can't be cleansed? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Allies can't attack or gain positive effects during this unit's turn. So, I'm assuming it's similar to a stun. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe they are just stuck, and when their turn comes around, they can just make their, use their abilities, because it doesn't say that it's an ability block. However, I mean, their cooldowns are reduced by 1, so they're not going to be able to use a special. So that's kind of like an ability block, I guess. So so basically they're just rendered useless. They can only use their basic attack. They can't, so allies can't attack or gain positive effects during this unit's turn, okay. so they can't call in an assist. So I think this is targeted more towards Visis Mar. So if Visis gets isolated, then she can't, call in an assist or anything. Rainbows. Okay, yeah, we talked about rainbows. Okay, so positive effects that are restricted are turn meter gain, health recovery, protection recovery, assist attack, buffs, revive, ally dispel, health equalization, cooldown reduction. Okay, so, okay, yeah, I guess I could have just kept reading, right? Yeah, good job, Mist. You're an idiot. Her leader ability. Now let's get to this. It's a Zeta. We don't know what the actual Zeta addition to her ability is, but the Zeta leader ability. Final text. Sith allies have plus 40% critical avoidance and plus 40% potency. That's right up Scion's ally. When a debuffed enemy takes damage, all Sith allies recover 10% health. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that we might get 2% critical avoidance, 2% potency, and the 10% health recovery on the Zeta upgrade. That's just my guess. I'm gonna call it now. Calling it now, right here. You heard it first on my channel. That's what I'm guessing the Zeta upgrade is. When an enemy uses an ability outside of their turn, they take damage equal to 35% of their max health. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is going to be absolutely brutal and wreck. I'm talking about wrecking JTR with her assists. It's going to wreck Commander Luke Skywalker with all of his counterattacks. Holy crap. I mean, how many Sith have an AoE? You've got Emperor Palpatine with his AoE shock. That can be countered. Obviously, Force Crush can't be countered anymore, but Nihilus, Force Drain can be countered. Sith Trooper, his AoE little rifle blast, it can be countered. Scion, his AoE can be countered. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. All of these Sith that have AoE abilities that can be countered by everybody on the enemy team, we're talking doing crazy amount of damage. 35% of their max health. When an enemy gains a buff outside of their turn, they lose 50% offense until the end of their turn. Holy, I'm trying not. Okay, this, holy moly. Okay, guys, we just found the new Sith meta. Darth Traya, Darth Scion, Darth Nihilus. The Sith Triumvirate is the new Nightmare Squad. With Sith Trooper, and I don't even know who to put in. Let's just throw in Sith Assassin. Everybody go max your Sith Assassin and just use the extra turn meter. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can literally plug and play any Sith. Throw Dooku in there. Why not, right? Because holy moly. Jeez. Oh my gosh, especially with his double attack on his basic. When a debuffed enemy takes damage, all Sith allies recover 10% health. Every time Dooku counterattacks an enemy and they have a debuff, everybody on your team is going to recover 10% health. Throw Dooku in there. Rise of the Dooku. Not to mention when he counterattacks, he's getting 10% protection back if you've got him Zeta'd. Which I do. I might throw myself a Dooku party. How about that? That is her unique. Compassion is weakness. Final text, Zeta. When an ally suffers a debuff, Darth Traya gains 10% bonus protection. Stacking until the end of her next turn. At the start of each Sith ally's turn, Traya dispels all debuffs on them and deals damage. Oh, equal to 5% of their max health. At the start of each Sith ally's turn, Traya dispels all debuffs on them and deal damage equal to 5% of their max health for each debuff dispelled. I'm not quite sure whether that means that they suffer the damage, or if she's dealing that damage to an enemy. I'm not sure. It's not very well worded here, so bear with me here, guys. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. So, the Sith start of each Sith ally's turn, Traya dispels all debuffs on them and deals damage equal to 5% of their max health for each debuff dispelled. Possibly this is like an Ahsoka Fulcrum kind of unique, where they get their debuffs dispelled and then take damage because of the debuffs. And then when allied Darth Nihilus or Darth Scion are critically hit or inflicted with a debuff, Traya gains 12% offense, stacking for 2 turns. So whenever they're critically hit or inflicted with a debuff, Traya gains 12% offense, stacking for 2 turns. This has some serious potential to stack extremely high. I mean, especially when you consider that Darth Scion can taunt, and Darth Nihilus tends to get a lot of attention because of his Annihilate ability. Enemies want to kill him quickly, so anytime he's critically hit or inflicted with a debuff, Traya is going to stack her offense. And remember, that special ability up top here has the chance to hit 3 times without being evaded. So Traya has the potential here to deal some incredible damage with this synergy. So I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that the 12% offense stacking is going to be the... No, I don't think it's the offense. I think it's the bonus protection. Whenever an ally suffers a debuff, Traya gains the 10% bonus protection, stacking until the end of her turn. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. I'm going to call it now that is the Zeta upgrade. Whenever an ally suffers a debuff, Traya gains 10% bonus protection. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section below. I think that this kit is absolutely, abso-friggin-lutely incredible. I think Traya, Nihilus, and Scion are going to form the new meta. I don't know what to say, guys. I am beyond stoked to start doing this new raid and start earning her shards. Holy moly. I hope you guys are excited as I am. I don't even know what to say. I'm literally speechless right now. This kit exceeds my expectations. It literally exceeds my expectations. CG knocked Darth Traya out of the effing park. When you combine her kit with Scion and Nihilus, I don't even know. I don't even have a response. I don't even have an answer to this. Like, how do you... I don't even know how to counter this. I'm not even gonna... I'm too tired right now. It's like 11 p.m. I don't even know how to counter this. This is nutso. But on the bright side for most of us, I guess, she is going to be a heroic tier reward, so you hopefully won't run into a Traya, Scion, Nihilus, a triumvirate squad for a while, because we don't even know when the raid is going to come out yet. So imagine if they do a similar reward model to the heroic tank and General Kenobi, and everybody gets 6 shards minus the top, first, second, and third place in the raid, then you can expect to unlock Darth Traya in probably a few months. 3 to 4 months probably, I think, is what is realistic. But then again, we don't know how hard this raid is. We don't know. I mean, inevitably, Team Instinct is going to be the first people to clear it because, I mean, come on, let's use our common sense here. But I wouldn't expect to start seeing Darth Traya popping up in your arena for, I don't know, several months at least. So, with that, guys, I know this video is going way too long, but Darth Traya is just so crazy. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call this video now. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, And as always, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'm on there now. Yippee skippy, all right. And if you want to continue the conversation or talk about how nutso Traya is, feel free to join my Discord server. Link is in the description below. Yeah, feel free to rip me apart in the comments section for screwing up how many characters do days on the dark side. With that, guys, like, favorite, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.